a girl and a half. She's got me going up and down. She's got me going up and down. Walking on the beaches, looking at the beaches. Well, I got the notion, girl, that you got some suntan lotion in that bottle of yours. Spread it all over my peeling skin, baby. That feels real good. All the skirts, lapping up the sun, lap me up. Why don't you come on and lap me up? Walking on the beaches, looking at the beaches. Well, there goes another one just lying down on the sand dunes. I better go take a swim and see if I can cool down a little bit. 'Cause you and me, woman, we got a lot of things on our minds, you know what I mean? Walking on the beaches, looking at the beaches. Well, you just take a look over there. Is she trying to get out of that clitoris? Liberation for women, that's what I preach, preacher man. Walking on the beaches, looking at the beaches. Oh shit, there goes the charabanc. Looks like I'm gonna be stuck here the whole summer. Well, what a bummer. I can think of a lot worse places to be. Like down in the street, or down in the sewer, or even on the end of a skewer.
Hello and welcome to Blackdog 157.5, which you'll call Pussy Liquor. I'm Lee.
I'm Darren.
And joining us down the other end of Skype, on the other end of the beach, because here we are in Montenegro, awaiting extradition back to the mainland, is Jim. Hello, Jim.
Hello.
Hello. So, nice flight over, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was lovely.
Nice of Ronnie Biggs to put us up.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't need the house anymore, does he? Let's be honest.
Although I wasn't too impressed when Ben Kingsley's turned up and started swearing lots.
Yeah, there's a fucking boulder in the pool. There's a boulder in the pool. Who puts a fucking boulder in a pool? Anyway, so... welcome, and this week we'll be having a bit of chat, a bit of news. Have we got a one-sentence review?
We have a few one-sentence reviews, and I shall pick from the well of one-sentence reviews.
Okay, and Jim, are you primed with a suitable profanisarus?
I am indeed.
Good, because also, of course, we'll be covering that most awful of heinous of movies, Catwoman. Is it really as bad as everyone thinks? or is it a misunderstood classic? We shall see. But first, of course, we have to see how everyone's week's got on, apart from, obviously, the flight. And so we'll start with Jim. Jim, how's your week been, sir?
Rather busy, as usual. Cool. But I did have one of those serendipitous little surprises this week.
Oh, yes.
A few days' time, or sometime next week anyway, should be recording A Highway to Mars with Odile and Stefan talking about Ray Bradbury's The Martian Chronicles.
Very nice.
Now, I remembered there'd been a TV mini-series done.
I've got it.
Yeah, well, I didn't know it was out. I thought that was vanished, and there it was on Amazon, so I had to get it.
Yeah, and, I've got my copy sitting on my shelf indoors as well.
Yeah.
So I watched the first part of it just earlier this evening, because it arrived today, and I was going, bloody hell, this was £8 well spent. It hasn't aged horribly.
Nice.
But what struck me is that the cast list is like a who's who of genre film and television. You've got Rock Hudson,
yeah,
Bernie Casey, best known to everyone as the head of Lambda in Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah.
Nicholas, TV Spider-Man Hammond.
Yes,
Roddy
indeed.
McDowell. Darren, Kolchak the Night Stalker McGavin.
Yeah.
Fritz Weaver, of lots of things.
Yes.
John Finch, who was Jerry Cornelius and played in several cult horror movies. Barry Morse from Space 1999.
Yes. Good old Bazza.
Good old Barry. And quite a few other people you recognise from various cult TV. There's a woman who used to be in The Protectors and was in some Amicus films. And
nice.
It was like, Now, I noticed on the credits, because it was a co-production between BBC America, Milton Subotsky, who used to run Amicus films.
Oh, right.
I thought, that makes sense, because old Milton, Amicus didn't have much money, but he could really get the stars in somehow. I don't know how. But
He had lots of incriminating photos, a bit like the Farrelly brothers with Movie 42.
Yeah.
It's like, how did they get them? Well, let's just say that if none of them turned up, some interesting photos would appear on Tumblr the next day. Yeah. Nice. Oh, well, that's good. I mean, I always remember with Martian Chronicles, I remember not understanding a bloody word of it because I was on holiday in Devon and I watched only the third episode and I saw Rock Hudson facing off against a person who looked like he had most of the Fortress of Solitude stuffed down his neck.
That would be the bit where somebody, or should I say a Martian, makes an appearance and it's got that rather unusual sort of mask on. A sort of very pointy V-shaped mask.
Yeah, that's the only bit I remember. But that's also because my dad was trying to do a magic trick using a bowl of water and a newspaper, and it all went horribly wrong and spilt all over the place, and so we got kind of distracted.
Yeah, I must admit that it does differ quite extremely from the book.
I've never read the book either.
Yeah, there's one story in particular that stands out in that about a woman in a house. Back on Earth.
Not in a house.
Yeah, I can't really say too much about it, but it is extremely sad. It really is that kind of, please do something to cheer me up now.
Okay.
I mean, of course, you've read it, Jim, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know the bit I mean?
I do.
Yeah, indeed. So,
God, I feel like I'm sitting in a clubhouse and everyone's turned their back on me, not sharing their conkers.
I've got a little, little bit of trivia there. Darren McGavin, his name, Darren, being mine, his name is the first recorded use of the name Darren. Did you know that?
What?
No,
Darren? Yeah.
Really?
Yes, he is. I think it's in the Guinness Book of Records or something, but he's the first recorded use of the name Darren. So there you go.
Blimey.
And I did actually meet him once at a convention.
You met Darren McGavin?
I met Darren McGavin. Darren met Darren.
Right. Okay. Right. Okay.
Don't say you don't learn anything in this podcast. You know,
I've never learnt anything in this podcast, Darren. I'll make it a point of pride that I've never learnt anything in this podcast.
Yeah, I'll tell you, you laugh now, but when you get mugged in an alleyway, somebody points a knife at you and says, unless you can tell me when the first recorded use of the name Darren was, I'm going to stab you. I'm going to fill you full of holes.
It's Derren. Darren McGavin.
It's not, is it?
Yes.
Well, still the same thing. There you go.
How do you spell your name?
Well, it's a D-A.
So it's not Darren.
But then again, you see, I spell my second name B-A-R, right? But most people seem to change that A for an E.
That's because you look like a St. Bernard.
Whatever.
Anyway, so how is your week, seeing as you're drinking your tea now? How was your week?
Much like this week's Doctor Who, pretty sucky, really.
Oh, you had to bring it out.
I'm sorry, but it was.
Oh, man. Jim's going to be on the bus now.
Yeah.
Jim's on that first bus down. He's on the National Express now. I wasn't going to say a word about Doctor Who this week, Jim, I promise.
No, I sort of like, you know, said one thing, but I didn't vent that much, but...
Well, you were sitting there huffing like fucking Thomas the Tank Engine trying to go up a hill when we were watching it.
Yeah, well, you know, I should really know better with season finales.
Yeah,
you know.
Well,
this is it.
That is a very good point. I mean, because when you think of any TV film, TV show, and the best episodes, it's never the season finale, is it?
No,
especially not in the show. I've never been satisfied with a season ender for Doctor Who. Ever. There's never been one. Season 5, end it with the Pandorica opens. Don't show us the next episode. For God's... Oh, you wouldn't have showed us the next episode. You could have had my money for the box set had you just left it alone and just left it at the Pandorica opens. Beautiful ending to that season. Nice. Leave it. No, you couldn't, could you?
Oh, dear.
Sorry, I'll calm down.
Old wounds, flashbacks.
Yeah, it's like Vietnam.
What else did we watch, Darren, after Doctor Who?
Well, this goes how bad it was. I actually enjoyed the experience of watching the Eurovision Song Contest a damn sight more because their matting effects were a damn sight better as well.
They were.
But there you go.
They were.
But no, came round here, watched the Eurovision, had a bloody good laugh.
Yeah.
Watching it.
Yeah.
As well.
And ate pizza and drank beer, and you discovered the joys of Blossom Hill rosé wine.
Oh, my word. That stuff rocks.
Yeah, I could tell by the way you slumped into a corner.
It was like Mr. Worf discovering prune juice. This is a drink of warriors.
This is a warrior's drink. Yeah, exactly. While you daintily drank rosé from a frosted glass.
Yes, indeed. Looking all evil and stuff. And dark and impending.
Nice. So anything else?
No, just this week, technology has not been my friend.
No.
Okay. I tried downloading the new Daft Punk album this week.
Legitimately, I'm
Legitimately,
it. Yeah.
This is it. I went to try and pay for it.
Yes.
Okay. And what is it that happened first of all? I think, first of all, I switched on my laptop, right? This is it. It's on the morning of the 20th, right? Okay. I think I'll get it on my iPod, go to work, listen to it. You know, fantastic. First of all, my laptop just would not fucking connect to any network at all. It just said the network card was offline.
Right.
Uninstalled it, did everything to it, tried to make it work. Finally went to the button at the side, pushed it. I mean, it was off. It was showing on anyway, but I just lost my temper with it, and all of a sudden the fucking thing came on. So I thought, right, okay, fine, let's get this thing downloaded.
Yeah.
So I went to play.com.
Oh, that's a mistake right away.
Yeah. I tried to fucking download it from there. Signed in. It kept going, there is a problem with your account. So I tried everything. I redid my card details, everything. And it kept saying decline. Then I get an email through saying, thank you very much for your $10.99. What? So I've desperately tried to cancel that. Thankfully, it didn't take it through.
Yeah.
And then I think it was iTunes fucking fell over on its face. And it's like... what the fuck is going on?
It's the magnets in your shoes. I told you shouldn't have bought those ones.
So, technology has been my absolute fucking enemy. And don't even get me started on the builds in work.
Okay.
Fuck's sake.
No.
So, I'm Mr. Brightside.
Clearly.
I am really
I can tell by the way you seem to be twitching and grabbing your knees. It's a really
Indeed.
kind of worrying
If I don't
affectation you seem to have.
grab my knees, I'm liable to start throwing punches at things and hitting doors and what have you.
God almighty. So, all right then. Nice.
So, yeah, no interesting documentaries this week, I'm afraid.
Oh, never mind.
About people doing role-playing or anything like that. So,
Magic Missile.
yeah, Magic Missile. They did actually show that.
What, LARPing?
Yeah, when they showed the LARPing bit, and they, it was quite funny because they had these people in, sort of like in what could have been like, you know, the sort of huts they have football teams go into. They were all sitting in there, and all of a sudden they get attacked from outside, and they all run for the door.
Oh.
And they all try and get out the door all at once, which was, you know, caused a bit of a jam. But there you are. But anyway, that was last week's news.
Last week. Arg.
So, yeah, and now I'm here. So
And that's that.
Yeah, my week's got so much better now.
Yeah. Oh, cheers. I thought this beach was lovely. Son of a bitch. Chose this place especially out of Thompson immigration leaflet. Anyway, I don't know. Immigration leaflet, holiday brochure. What kind of cunt am I? What's going on with my
what's
brain?
going on there?
Anyway, yeah. My week. Well, it was the same as yours. I watched Doctor Who.
Yeah. Speeding right over that like a land speeder.
Yeah, that was that. I watched that.
Yes, you did done got told.
I did done watch that.
You're not allowed to say anything.
I'm not saying a word
ever
about
again.
It. Ever about that, because apparently the internet claims I am wrong, and I am always wrong, and I shall forever be wrong.
But you've got the mic now.
No, don't you dare tempt me with that one. I've had my fill of being told about all the thousands upon thousands of references in that story, as if it's somehow, you've done it now, as if somehow that makes the story any good.
Well, I think if you have to watch 50 years of television just to get 45 minutes of television, then there's something clearly wrong, you know, somewhere.
But I'm stepping back away from that abyss.
Yeah, step back.
Because after Star Trek Into Darkness, where a few people weren't terribly happy with my opinions either, I feel like I might want to just kind of rein it in this week. I don't want to
save it for Catwoman.
Save it for Catwoman. Yeah, there aren't too many sacred cows left to slaughter, to be frank. But anyway, so there was that. Yes, I did like the Eurovision, especially Ming the Merciless. And he's
What about the bastard love child of Freddie Mercury and General Zod?
Yes,
is that the guy you're talking about?
Yeah,
him?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Rupert Everett's General Zod. Yeah, anyway, Rupert Everett's General Zod.
Fantastic.
And Bonnie Tyler looking like a drunk mum at a wedding. In fact, I think...
Total eclipse of her face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I did put on Twitter, I said, "Get off the stage, mum, you're drunk."
Yeah.
And it got retweeted by about a dozen people, so I was quite pleased with that.
I must admit, it's. I think really they chose the wrong title for that song of, Believe in Me, as if to say, please, look, I can still do it.
Yeah, well, that's a bit like saying I believe in morph because I've got a bowl full of plasticine.
I believe in a thing called love.
Just live it to the ribbon of heart. Anyway. Hold on. Oh,
what's up?
Okay.
Are we getting reactions?
Yes,
from
we are getting reactions.
Live
on air.
Yeah. 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 Well, there you go. Well done to all the people who have just realised what episode 157 was all about. Anyway, so
I must admit, it's that I was hoping it would be tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Before we got the obligatory what the fuck post.
Yeah. But anyway, what else? I've started my Escape Studio course.
Yay!
And my brain is filling up rapidly.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm getting lots and lots and lots of technical gubbins fired into my brain at high speed. Lots of it is...
It's not so basic today, then?
Not so basic today, no. I mean, you will be pleased to know I have modelled photorealistic bananas, a fruit bowl, a barrel, and an apple.
Very nice.
Yes. Yesterday though, I was the smart arse I have to say, I was the smart arse. I did think I was going to get lynched. Because a lot of these guys who are on this course are like newbies, and they just want to get on. So the course basically has got like two halves to it. And one half gets you up to sort of just up to speed, and then the other half goes off into the future with all the mad stuff, and that's what I'm going to be doing as well. So I'm doing the extended mental version. So the first bit of the course on yesterday was kind of like not a problem, I'm just going to sail through this. And so they're saying, you've got to make a man out of a character out of just primitives, which is basically a cylinder, a ball, or a box. That's it. That's all you can use to make a character. So it's got to be very, very basic, and then use it like a puppet, which is just to get people used to using various elements. Anyway.
Is this the secret origin of Simon Cowell?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and then what you got to do is you've got to put some fuzz on his head, and then have him go yes all the way through. Anyway, so there's this guy sitting beside me. And, he is just getting used to things, and he is just taking his time, and we've been given like an hour and a half to move, very basic models around. Very basic models. By the time he'd got like a sphere for a head and a box for the body...
You'd already constructed Babylon 5.
I had constructed a fully blown textured robot, all rigged up and ready to rock and roll, and I'm going... Yes, and then all of a sudden there's like everyone else sitting looking at me like cunt. as the tutor comes past, going, "Oh, you used this before?" Yes, I have. How did you know? But it's like, but for me, I tell you one thing. Apart from
you should have gone. No, I just picked it up.
Yeah. Apart from feeling like I had a cock 4 foot long and the blood to fill it, I did like the fact that I was kind of like, yes, I'm back on the horse. It's back in the game. Yeah. And now what's happening is the game, it's starting to ramp up, and obviously these guys are trying to tag along, and they're doing really well. It's really barreling along this course.
Yeah.
But now I'm starting to get little gaps in my knowledge, just little things like just little hotkeys and stuff like this. So I'm kind of feeling like the cracks are beginning to show in my knowledge, and I've only been doing it for like 2 days. So I'm waiting to hit sort of Friday and having everyone all standing there going, you're not so smart as you fucking thought you were. Yeah. Which is bound to happen because I'm being a right smart ass.
So, did you turn around and say, so where's your fully textured robot?
Yeah, well, exactly. No, I'm not being nasty.
Bite my shiny metal ass.
Yes, exactly. However, bigger news... my iPhone, suffered a major trauma.
Yes, it did.
No, it hasn't. No. This is repaired, mate.
Ooh.
See, basically, I walked home.
Yeah.
To come and get to you before you got to my house for the Eurovision Doctor Who marathon, and then I tripped on a paving stone.
Yes.
And I used my hand and, more importantly, my iPhone to stop my fall.
My phone saved me.
My phone saved me, but at the cost of the entire screen. Anyway, I'm distraught. 700 quid worth of phone. Pfft, bang, gone. I'm like, oh, shit. Anyway, gliding around the internet, I found that there was a place, I won't use its name because it was a bit weird, you'll get to the story in a minute, that would fix the screen. And they said they could do it in 15 minutes. So,
and the price was your firstborn child.
Well, it wasn't far.
Rumpelstiltskin glass.
Yeah, and now you have to sit upstairs and spin gold from straw. But I walked to this place, and it didn't even show up on Google Maps. It didn't show up on Apple Maps. Nowhere.
And you thought this was a reputable joint, then, did you?
It's behind Tottenham Court Road Cinema. Now, first off, I didn't even know there was a cinema in Tottenham Court Road.
I didn't even know there was a cinema
in
Tottenham Court Road.
It's an Odeon.
Is it?
A 4-screen Odeon.
4-screen?
Yeah.
Blimey.
And there's no way to get to this little thing. And I'm thinking, well, how do you get in there? And it's like diagonally. You have to walk.
You have to angle your head slightly, and then you see the gap through the brick wall.
You do. Yeah. You walk round the back of the cinema, and there's a pub. And then beside the pub, there's like an alleyway. No joking, it's about as wide as a man.
Okay.
I walk down this alleyway, and it opens up into like a little mews, which just looks like a sort of loading bay for the cinema. Except in the corner is a brown door.
There wasn't like an old Chinese fella in there who wanted to sell you like a small furry creature that sang and said, don't feed it after midnight.
A laminated puzzle.
Pleasure, Mr. Metcalf.
Yes. You open the box. We came. Yeah. So I ring on this door because you can't open the door. You just ring on the door. All of a sudden, the voice just goes, yes. And I said, I hear you. I understand you fix iPhones. Yes, of course, sir. Come in. Door goes, bzz, opens by itself. I'm like, fucking hell, what's going on here? I mean, I walked in, and there's gentle music playing, wood all over the floors, all the walls are white and airy, and there's skylights and light pouring in. It's like some kind of, I don't know what it was. It was like some kind of weird church. This guy comes gliding down the stairs, right? No joking.
He's on a stair lift, mate.
No, he just moved so smoothly down these stairs. It just looked like he just floated. And he came straight in and he went, oh, what appears to be the problem? And I went, this. And I showed him like my cracked screen. He went, a terrible shame. Terrible. And he pulls out from behind his back an iPad 3. He goes, mine for yours. As a show of trust. And I'm like, okay. So I handed over my phone. He took it like a dead baby bird. He took it literally like this. Describe how I'm holding this, Darren.
You are holding it as if it is the most precious thing to you in the world.
And he just glided back up the stairs. And I'm standing there holding this iPad 3. And I'm thinking, what? Okay. And it's set up so that you can't save cookies. So he's not saving any passwords or anything like that. I'm like, oh, okay. Sat down. Super fast internet. Surfed away. And all of a sudden, I just heard my phone come on. And it made a ringing noise, and it went, and I made all the noises. Comes back, and it sort of goes quiet. Then there's a flash. No joking, there is a flash.
You hear?
Oh! No. And then all of a sudden, down he comes again. He goes, there you go, sir. As good as new. And I went, fucking hell, hold on. I'm like, oh, right, okay, how much? And he went, £150. Well, basically, for a £700 phone, which was I did have to buy another one, basically.
You didn't know it was going to cost you 150 notes,
I saw it on the website. So I went, okay. And he went, right, there you go. It's guaranteed for 12 months. And if there is anything wrong with this phone, please come back to me. I also noticed from the serial number that it appears it's still under warranty. So, don't tell anyone that you've had it fixed here. I'm like, why? And he said, because if there's aerial problems, Apple will replace it free of charge. I'm like, okay. He goes, may I inquire how you broke the phone? I said, oh, I fell over, used it as my hand. Terrible shame. Terrible shame. It's a shame to see phones like this go the way they do, but they're just not built to the standards that we would expect. I'm like, you're freaking me out now. This is just like, whoa, what the fuck is this? And he goes, and then finally he goes, may I have the iPad back? I said, yes. And he goes, I'm wiping any cookies and history and anything that you may have done on this phone, on this iPad now. And he just flicks his hands around, fucking wipes it, it reboots, and he's like, so, hopefully we'll never meet again. But if we do, know that I will be here to fix your phone, sir. And any other Apple products you may have. He goes, and I will be sending you a link. I will send you a link. Please give us a recommendation on Google Maps.
Would you like something for the weekend, sir?
Oh, exactly. And he went, thank you for coming. And he just went back upstairs. And as he went back upstairs, the fucking door opened. I'm like, oh, I'm leaving now, am I? Okay. And I just went out the door. It's the freakiest 20 minutes of my fucking life.
And you walked away stunned, and when you turned around to go
the
back
door
to the door,
was gone.
It was just a brick wall. I was going to say, you didn't actually check your photo folder on there, did you?
Yeah, there's a picture of a cock.
A picture of him, sort of like his face, but, just behind his big hairy sack, where he's like, he's done that.
It was really weird. It was like I don't know. I felt like I'd suddenly inadvertently sort of joined the Church of Scientology or something. It was really, really bizarre, but can't argue with the fact that is a fixed iPhone.
Lovely.
And it's there's nothing wrong with it. The screen's perfect. Everything's done. It just doesn't look like anything happened to it. But
hush, my gosh!
But there's probably a dead virgin upstairs.
There's probably is, yes.
A dead virgin on a stone plinth with an inverted X symbol.
Christ almighty!
Yeah. So, Jim, will you be covering techno mages in the Hypnobobs next week?
Well, just watch out for any sort of demonic faces if you haven't previously noticed on certain sites appearing. Because this kind of setup, it is classic textbook stuff, and by my reckoning, there's a large fire demon heading your way in about 7 days.
Nice! Thank you very much. Yeah, all my photos have distorted. I can't work out why. Everyone else is fine, but whenever you take a photograph of myself, it just seems like my eyes are kind of being burnt out. I can't work out what's going on.
There's no, line through you in every single photograph.
It's strangely enough.
Yeah, just don't go near any churches with any priests that look like Patrick Troughton. That's all I'll say. All right, just steer the fuck away from those places.
There's a lady who looks a bit like Mia Farrow going, "I did this for you, Damien," and then jumping off of a roof.
Well, it's either that or ring him back up and ask if he does costume hire as well.
Yeah. Hold on. Someone said, a bit disappointed with Blackdog Catwoman. I was looking forward to some right insightfulness there. Yes.
Who put that?
Pete McGlashan, who's someone I used to know. Yeah, I think people are twigging. Anyway, let's move on. So, anyone got anything else, or should we move on to the news? Darren?
Let's go to the news.
Yes, thank you, Jim.
Yeah, let's do the news.
Thank you, Jim. You remember your job, Darren. Co-host.
Sorry, I was just looking at the comments.
Oh, shut up! I'm fucking doing the jingle now.
Hey, we're gonna hear some news now.
Mad fucking Dan Ackroyd news now.
Oh.
Yes. Guess what? Guess what he's been talking about? Go on, take a guess. Take a guess.
Is it Spies Like Us too?
If only, with Mad Chevy Chase as well. Two mad bastards on their own, talking to themselves about better times. No.
God, is this what it's come to? It's the only thing he talks about now.
Yeah, well, apparently, he's been chatting to Larry King, and he's talked about the basics of Ghostbusters 3. And he explained that Bill Murray is definitely not in it. So, that no news there. But apparently, this is the bit. Apparently, it's going to involve 4 new Ghostbusters because we need 4 new Columbia students. Right? Now, when asked about that, the reason, according to Ackroyd, is the film's based around a new research that's being done in particle physics by the young men and women of Columbia University. I can say that the world, or our dimension that we live in, or the 4 planes of existence, length, height, width, and time, become threatened by some research that's being done there. And Ghostbusters, new Ghostbusters, have to come and solve the problem. That's it.
This is
4 students upping the catering budget. That's all it is.
Yeah. I mean, that sentence, none of that sentence actually makes any sense. It's like, the world we live in, the dimension we live in, the 4 planes of existence, length, height, width, and time. It's like, is that it? Is that the only 4 planes of existence we live in? Fuck. Oh, no. Anyway. Do you know what? There's another existence. It's the fucking mental phantom zone that Dan Ackroyd lives in, with an endless stream of burgers and 14 times being pumped directly into his head.
I'll tell you what. Can somebody please just hurry up and make, the real Matrix so we can hook Dan Ackroyd up to it and just leave him in a corner somewhere? Just keep feeding him burgers once in a while. Keep him going.
I mean, seriously, guys, does anyone now actually think this is ever getting made?
It's never getting made. It's going to be, and when it gets made, it's going to be it's not going to have any of the fucking charm of the original. It's going to be a fucking...
Lego figures on a camcorder.
Yeah, it's going to be a modernised...
Dan doing all the voices.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. Yeah, glove puppets. There you go. But no, it'll be far too knowing, and it will be far too street. It will be everything like that, and it'll have hip hop in it and
It'll
shit
be
like
Blues
this.
Brothers
There'll be
2000.
rapping.
Have you seen Blues Brothers 2000?
Thankfully, from what I hear, no.
Well, maybe check that out, and then see how possibly Ghostbusters 3 could go, because that's how I think it'd go. Right, next piece of news. Moving on, Kevin Feige. Is it Feige or Feige? Oh.
Something like that. I think it's
Anyway,
Feige.
I can never pronounce his bloody name right. I'm going to stick with Feige.
Yeah.
Kev
F. Effing Kev. Has been providing updates on characters under consideration for Marvel Phase 3 post-Avengers 2.
Okay.
Now, I thought it was going to be Ant-Man, but apparently...
Yeah, so did
the
I.
list is running like so. Doctor Strange, to which our Kev F says, "I'd love Doctor Strange to be a part of that, only because he's a great character. He's a great standalone character. He's got a great origin story for the most part, in a world of pure magic that we haven't done yet. It's a whole supernatural, magic, alternative dimension thing going on in Marvel Comics that we've not actually touched on. So that'll be exciting." Then, Phase 3. Hulk. What's exciting about exploring and expanding Mark Ruffalo's Hulk is that its Banner is not in Planet Hulk at all. So the fun of Hulk would be his interaction with humans. So Mark would need to stand on his own movie. So we're thinking about it. We're excited to go with it, but we would not be doing Planet Hulk. It would be a standalone Hulk movie. Whatever that means. Then there's the Runaways, who I've never seen.
I've heard of.
To which he says, it's a matter of where it fits. Runaways sort of falls between those big blockbusters and small surprise films in a way. We haven't found out where or how to do it right now, but I'd love to do it. And the Inhumans, to which he says, the Inhumans are cool. They're really great characters. All the craziness comes with the Inhumans we've done already in other movies, but this would have some social drama that we haven't done yet. X-Men obviously has been touching on this stuff for quite a while. Feige also hinted that now that Marvel has the rights for Blade, Punisher and Ghost Rider back in the camp, they will also find some time to work on them also. So there you go. Is anybody interested, excited or anything like that about any of those characters?
I think...
Silence from Jim.
I think...
I'll take that as a no.
I think
No. I mean, I think Doctor Strange could work really well. I mean, with the kind of modern visual effects, you could really bring to life vintage Doctor Strange, sort of psychedelic cosmic space, really, really well.
Yeah, that'd be an epic movie, that, Doctor Strange. They could really go to town with that. Yeah,
Hulk standalone. Yeah, just give me more Hulk. Now you seem to have finally got Hulk right in the Avengers. Do more with it. The Runaways, wasn't that a girl band? The Inhumans. You really want the X-Men rights back, don't you? End of. And no mention of Howard the Duck. Hooray!
Huzzah!
I think that this is the thing about mentioning every hero they've got back under their belt as, let's stick them in the Avengers. No, let's not stick them in the Avengers. How about we just have some movies that are connected to that universe that are not Avenger movies? You know, mention the Avengers in them, but don't have them as part of the Avengers, like they do in other comics. You know, you can have them as part of that universe, but let's not put every single fucking superhero that they get the rights back to in an Avengers movie. Let's not do that at all. Let's have a Marvel other phase or something like that. But, you know, because that's going to get tired really fucking quickly. And what you're going to do, you're going to end up with about 50 different fucking superheroes in one film. That's the way it's going.
Fair enough. But then that's what the Avengers always was, wasn't it? It was just kind of like
I think
characters dropping in and out.
Well, but it's...
Things like the Punisher, though. Punisher works best if he's actually out of the Marvel universe, I think.
Yeah, exactly. You know, fine, have Iron Man show up in it or something like that, but...
Not a 50 million an appearance, I don't think they will.
Well, they could just have the suit, the animated suit, and just have him like, "Hi, I'm Iron Man," and then fuck off. We could do a Boba Fett. He could walk on, pretend he's looking at the scenery or something, and hello, it's me.
Wander off again.
Yes.
Cool. And now we have mental internet rumour of the week, which is that Christopher Nolan has, according to a number of websites, been taking meetings with the heads of Eon, who happen to make just one franchise and one franchise alone, which is James Bond.
Sorry, when you said Eon, I thought that's like the electricity company.
No, not that. You fucking knobbin.
Right, okay. Is he changing his provider? Is that
yes.
what it is?
Yes, that's right.
That's the big news this week. He's switched from Power Gen to Eon.
That might be the truth of it.
Yes.
That actually might be.
I'd say 50 quid a year.
I don't need to heat my house on just all the money I made from Dark Knight. No,
Lovely.
the big truck backing up my lawn. No, apparently he's taking meetings and been in discussions to take meetings about directing Bond 24. Now, I gotta say, of all the bullshit I've heard in a long time, that's the most bullshitty ever.
It's the bullshittiest of bullshit.
Yeah, I feel I actually need waders to go through this news. I mean, it's like...
It's a shovel.
I mean, why? Firstly, why would he do it? Secondly, would he be allowed to do it given that, I don't know, he's in contract hock to Warner Brothers for the rest of his life. So, given that he's, sort of Man of Steel, Interstellar, all the Batman stuff, and possibly Justice League, if they get him on that, that's all Warner Brothers. So why would he suddenly turn up on Eon's doorstep going, "Can I make a Bond film?"
I've got 5 minutes to spare out of all the other films.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like Del Toro. He's like, they mention him. He's doing this film this week. He's got plans to do that one and that one. It's like, what, in amongst all the 50 other films that he's been fucking marked down to do.
Well, that's like Ridley Scott. But that's because everyone wants to put a load of stuff on his IMDb page and not just have them realise that he's been around in the business for about 60 years and has only made 30 films. Yeah. And of which only 2 of them were any bloody good. Anyway, sorry, moving on. Right, so, Jim, you have some news, sir.
I do.
Yes.
It's a bit of a mixed bag, this one. The Poltergeist remake is going ahead. And will begin shooting this autumn. Or fall, as you jolly Yanks say. Now, on the downside, it's got 2 of the goons involved in Spike Lee's Old Boy remake. Points against.
Oh.
However, attached to produce is also Sam Raimi.
Okay.
And the director for hire
is
Gil Kennan, who made Monster House. So it's kind of, that could go either way there.
Yeah. Monster House was was Dan Harmon's thing, wasn't it? Written
Harmon and was it Rob Schraub as well?
Rob Schraub, yeah. So it could be okay. Monster House was kind of a cool kids horror flick, sort of pre-paranorman.
I've got one other rumour. At least I think it was a rumour.
Hold on.
I'm just... You carry on chatting.
He's frantically tapping it up on his phone.
I've just remembered.
If it turns out to be another Alison Brie picture, I'm going to slap it out of your hand. Anyway, yeah. Why remake Poltergeist though? I mean, three sequels. Wasn't that enough? I mean,
was for me. However, this does have a slightly different. I've tweaked the plot. And apparently, it's the same. The young daughter disappears, but in this, apparently, it's going to be his wife who's the medium.
Oh, right.
And it's going to spin in the paranormal researchers who come in will be part of one of these reality paranormal shows.
Oh, right. So, so are you saying is this going down the dreaded route of? Is this really going to go down the dreaded route of sort of found footage?
There's nothing to say that. I imagine the draw of Poltergeist certainly is kind of it's a big ghost train of a film, literally. And I imagine these days they'll want to do the same kind of thing to throw 3D and ghosts flying out the screen But it's one of those. This project's been kicking around for a while, so whether it actually still happens is, well, it's the magic of Hollywood.
The mystery of Hollywood. Darren's looking at me with a strange look on his face. What have you found?
I think I've got some news here that's going to make some people may be a bit emotional when I read this out.
Go on. If you say remaking Close Encounters, I'm going to kick you in the balls.
No. I shall just read out the headline.
Okay.
And I've checked this. There's a few sites have actually mentioned this, so it's not just a one-off thing.
Oh, blimey, you're checking your sources.
I certainly am. This was put in earlier, a few days ago, and it's Will Smith lassos lead role in the Wild Bunch remake.
What?
Yes, and hold on. If that isn't
Will Smith
enough,
in a Munch Bunch remake.
Yeah, in a Munch. Hold on. If the Wild Bunch remake isn't enough, right? The Wickedy Wild Bunch remake, right? Which it's going to be good. Wickedy Wild.
Yeah.
It's going to be a contemporary setting, so it's basically going to be set in Mexico again, and he's going to be playing a DEA agent. So, yeah.
What? AR agent, more like.
Yeah.
ARS agent.
A DEAD agent. Will Smith is set to star in a modern-day remake of The Wild Bunch, Sam Peckinpah's classic tale of a gang of Asian outlaws organising one last heist in the dying days of the American Old West.
Yes, a great swan song for the Western, a fantastic film. A genuine classic and an absolute amazing shootout at the end. Really quite violent, as most Peckinpah films were. William Holden, it's just a fucking great film. It's a really, really good film.
Yeah. And
that gooning, jug-eared, wing-nut-faced buffoon is going to come and stomp all over it.
Okay.
Going, yeah, hey man.
From what I hear, right. I can't actually see it here, but I did see it on one of the other articles.
You're going to make me cross now, aren't you?
It did mention, and this is the final
that he's
stab
doing
in
the fucking theme tune?
Yeah, right, the theme tune. Wickedy Wild Bunch. We're the Wickedy Wild Bunch. And it's all kind of wickedy wild, and we're a bunch, and we're the wickedy wild bunch.
Right.
Word.
What's the fucking bit you heard?
The bit I heard on another site is that he's actually writing and producing it.
Oh!
Hold on. Let me just check that out.
Jesus!
The
last thing he wrote was the theme tune to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
No, wait a minute. No, he's not writing it. It's Will Smith to star in and produce modernised of the Wild Bunch film. And that was reported on May the 14th, 2013.
Oh, fucking hell. A modernised version of the Wild Bunch is pointless because it's a fucking swan song for the Wild West. How can you take that subtext and put it into a modern day DEA agent fucking around in Mexico? Oh, just cuntage.
Maybe it's the story is it's about a bunch of old sort of like drug users who are going for one last bender this time instead of like
they had that
a bunch
Tim
of
Allen
criminals.
in Wild Hogs.
Oh, there you
with
are.
Fucking John Travolta.
Maybe that's who their Wild Bunch are actually going to be. It's going to be John Travolta. Maybe they're reprising their role.
Any news on the rest of the bunch?
Martin Lawrence, maybe get him in there.
Fucking Chris Rock.
Yeah, Chris Rock.
Yeah, Chris Tucker.
Yeah,
yeah.
Get
Tyler Perry
in there as well. Get Fishburne in there.
And then
Don the Dragon Wilson.
Don the fucking Dragon Wilson. Michael Dudikoff.
Steven Seagal, get him in there.
Cole Hauser.
Oh.
Have Paul Walker in the lead. Put a big hip hop beat all over the top of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jeffrey from The Prince from Bel-Air.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
him in there.
Yeah, DJ Jazzy Jeff. Yeah,
Bill Cosby.
yeah. With the hippity and the hoppity and the shooting and the wooting and the whippity. Fuck on hell. And the burnt charred corpse of Richard Pryor
Yep.
in a wheelchair being rolled downhill. I mean, fucking... What? What?
No, I believe that's going to be in the Will Smith remake of Last of the Summer Wine.
Summer wine. Summer wine. Summer wiggity wine.
Oh, yeah. Dun,
Yeah.
dun,
Ha-ha,
dun,
ho-ho,
dun,
hey-hey,
dun,
take care of your ma. Ooh.
Boom. Down, down, down.
Did it again.
Down, down, down. Yeah. Compo, Desperado. Won't go foggy on you. Give
know-
me the company.
You know how Harmontown has the rap thing? We could make up a Will Smith song as our sort of answer to that.
No. I do you know I am actually genuinely depressed at that news. I mean, genuinely.
It's like when they did that horrible Italian Job remake
Yes.
and moved it to contemporary bollocks land or wherever it was set.
Yes. Exactly. I mean, it is like your mother dying, and then for Christmas party, some horrible uncle who you never see turns up in a wig pretending to be her, going, "Hello, everybody, I've made you dinner" at Christmas, and then bringing out a load of McDonald's and throwing them on the table, then laying a big curly shit in the middle of the lawn and pissing on all your presents.
It's just not good this week, is it, for anything?
No.
This week is just useless. It should end now.
Yes.
Bring on the next
Fucking
week.
hell. Oh, that's made me cross.
We should be allowed to go to sleep for the next
I've
couple
stood
of
on the
days.
precipice of Doctor Who and I've said nothing. I stood on the fucking precipice of Star Trek Into Darkness re-ranting again and I've said nothing. And then you just keep pushing, didn't you? You kept pushing. Yeah. And then you got fucking Wild Bunch.
It's going to be the fucking Bad Boys. That's basically what's going to be.
Bad Boys. Yeah, it's Michael Bay directing. That'll just finish it off, I'm sure.
Should we have a look on
Script by
IMDb
Greenball.
and see? Let's see.
Jim, you just topped it all off.
Let's just see
Actually,
if
Damon Lindelof.
Yeah, right. The fucking story. Come to polish it up.
Yeah, come to
The
polish it
world's
up.
finest turd polisher.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he's got shit under his nails.
Yes. For
Oh,
all the
anyway.
dirty did dumb polish.
Oh, God, all right. You know, we were actually going to try and get this done in an hour and a half. We swore we'd do that.
Welcome to the Venting Podcast.
Two grumpy old men, plus another grumpy old man on Skype, all sit around being grumpy. Actually,
Still, for a positive note, congratulations to Denmark for inventing the universal toddy blender and making the perfect hybrid of Emma Watson and Denise Targaryen, winning Eurovision.
Yes.
Yes, congratulations to Denmark.
Congratulations to Denmark for managing to get Isla Fisher and Emma Watson and Miranda Lawson from Mass Effect and blending them all up into a big, yummy totty hole size wonderfulness. And what the fuck was I talking about? I just kept thinking about those boobs in that dress. I can't even. Can any of us actually remember the song?
What song?
It was about tears or something.
Exactly.
By the way, I
Dirty
remember
old
now,
men on the podcast. That's what we're going to call ourselves now. The Dirty Old Man Podcast.
I remember now where I first heard about the Wild Bunch thing.
Go on.
Right, okay. It was on Cracked, I think it was. And it was just a bloke
I thought it was-
commentating on it. He goes, you know, I don't hate Will Smith. I just think he's a bit of a milquetoast dildo.
Milk toast dildo.
I like that.
There you go. In fact, that's what we're going to call the podcast this week. Milk toast dildo.
Milquetoast dildo.
Right.
That's brilliant. Right, I'm looking at this new Wild Bunch on IMDb and there's fuck all about it.
Okay.
There's Brian Helgeland,
Hegland.
draft, and David Ayer, earlier scripts, but it says nothing else about cast and crew.
Because they've
apart
all been
from
taken outside and shot.
There's only one cast member, and that's
Will
That's Will Smith.
Right.
Not Jaden Smith as well.
Oh, no. Shut
Oh,
your
shush.
mouth.
Shush.
Shut your filthy mouth, Jim. Go and sit in the corner and think about what you just said. Oh, man, it's already bad enough we've got to sit through fucking After Earth, or After 8, whatever you want to call it.
After arse.
After Arse. Arse on Earth. Arse Earth. Right. Shall we move on to another section? Which section are we doing now?
We're going to go for a profanisarus.
We are going to go for a profanisarus. There you go. I just wanted to make sure. What are you looking at now before we do a profanisarus?
I'm just looking at the actual producer they've got marked down for the Wild Bunch.
Who?
It's this bloke called Jerry Weintraub.
Yeah.
And you'll be pleased to know.
Weintraub.
You'll be pleased to know he's done Ocean's 12, Soldier, and how about this for a recommendation? The Avengers. And I'm not talking about Captain America and Iron Man.
Oh, God.
That's one film I don't think we'll ever cover in
My
Shit Cover Goggles.
Stepmother is an Alien.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
He's done the next Karate Kid as well. He did that.
Oh, that's good. That's a step up.
The Specialist.
Oh, God, blowing the crabs out of Sharon Stone. Oh, God.
He did actually do all the Karate Kid movies. All of them.
God almighty.
And he did a John Denver movie. I think, there you go.
I think I need to go back to my iPhone bloke.
2 John Denver movies. Fuck me, he's a giant. He really is.
The first one was How to Fly a Plane, and the other one was How to Land a Plane, but that was unfinished.
Oh no, he's all right.
Rocky Mountain High.
He's all right. He's done a Neil Diamond film as well. Neil Diamond, I'm glad you're here with me tonight. I think there's something in that title that just about sums it, really.
Well, if it was Darren Diamond.
Yeah.
Darren Diamond, I'm glad you're here with me tonight.
Oh, no.
Signed Shirley, aged 87.
Neil Diamond, Love at the Greek. That would be Darren Diamond, Love at the Greek.
No, he loves a bit of Greek.
Loves a bit of Greek. Anyway, sorry, I'll shut the fuck up about the Wild Bunch now.
Do you know, I genuinely think if we ever do a video podcast, we should just have us all sitting in a Statler and Waldorf style box in a theatre.
Yep.
I think that's the only way we can do this now. Or either that or just slowly drugging ourselves silly and just wishing we were dead. Because that's what I feel right now. Jim, do you have a profanisarus for us?
I do.
Lovely. Go right ahead.
I thought you were going to say, go fuck yourself.
I very nearly did.
Jim, go fuck yourself.
Go fuck off, Jim. The best one in the world. Much respect. Fuck off.
Yeah, much love. Much love.
Go on, Jim. Go for it.
Right. In an attempt to raise the tone from the Wild Bunch remake. Stabbing the cat.
I can already see where this is going.
Body language. Miming going all Norman Bates on a notional invisible moggy perched on your lap. Also, international sign language for Lindelof.
Thank you very much for that, Jim. That's very, very apropos. Oh dear, I do actually feel like I need to have a lie down and just take in the last few half hours of my life.
Well, I've got something that will make you happy.
What's that?
Lee, have you seen this movie? So, over the past couple of weeks, I've had a few suggestions sent my way. And I've had a few one-line review suggestions sent my way as well.
Thank you.
So, taking at this list from random,
yes,
we have one from a young man
Yes.
called Hunter Langley.
Ah, one of our new listeners
Yeah, one of our new
on the Facebook group.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
And to those other people that sent them in, don't worry. As I said, I'm doing this in quite a random fashion.
Pretty much like the most of you.
Yeah, pretty much like most of my rantings and
Yes.
"Oh, get off me." So this week's film
Yes.
is
Yes.
Troll 2.
Troll 2.
Troll 2. The Two of Troll.
I know what it is. It's just... But it's just such a fucking awful film anyway. I mean, there's nothing...
Well, it should be quite easy for you to sum up then, shouldn't it?
Yeah. Okay,
I'll have a vowel.
yeah. Midget mindfuck that doesn't even have midgets in it half the time. It's a big pile of shit. I really fucking hate this film. It's probably the worst movie ever made, and I'm just gonna say I think anyone who really likes it is a cunt. There you go.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, that's a really weird one. It's like kind of, it's the worst film ever. You can't really add anything to it.
You see, that's more than one line now. You've spoilt it.
Well, no, I
Party's
stopped.
over.
I could have just said knob goblins.
Jim, you win.
I think it's Jim Moon's one-line review.
Knob goblins.
Knob goblins.
Yeah. Oh, God. My one just sounds like shit now compared to that, doesn't it?
Will you play that wickedy wickedy wild wild theme tune?
Oh, all right. Right, okay, well, sorry for my abject failure on Troll 2, and well done, Jim, you have won the internet with cock goblins.
Hooray!
Yes, hooray. Well done.
Give him a bag of Smarties
Yes.
or something.
Golf clap.
Yeah, golf clap.
There you go. Right, okay, well, I suppose we can't put it off any longer. It's time to do...
The Funky Gibbon?
Yeah, well, I'd prefer that, to be honest, than what we're about to do, which is review Catwoman.
Shatwoman.
I
am a superhero.
Yes. Look at my leather ears. Oh, God, right. Okay, let's just run the fucking jingle.
What's new, pussycat? Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's new, pussycat? Whoa, 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 whoa.
Right. Catwoman. Ploppy, 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 plop. Ploppy, 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 ploppy. That's what's written on the wiki.
Is it?
Yes. Right, okay. Catwoman. Based on Catwoman by Bob Kane. Yeah.
I can do the background on this if you wish.
No,
As I know things that aren't on the wiki.
Oh, all right, okay. I'll just do the fact that the delicious irony of budget of 100 million, worldwide box office take to date 82 million.
Yay!
Starring Halle Berry, Benjamin Bratt, Sharon Stone, and a bunch of people who will never work again. And directed by Pitoff, which is quite possibly, the cuntiest name in Hollywood.
It's not an anagram of Huey Bowl, is it?
No, it's basically what someone called him when they first saw him in Hollywood. They went, "Oh, piss off," and he kind of didn't quite understand. Over to you, Jim.
Right then, the Catwoman project started with Batman Returns. Burton originally intended to kill off Selina Kyle. However, when the film was finished, the studio said, no, this Catwoman's going to be big. And so, if you remember, at the very end of Catwoman, you see a shot that was inserted, as it was, of Catwoman's silhouette right at the very end, leaving the door open for a sequel.
Oh, God.
or
yes.
a Catwoman spin-off.
Yeah.
And the original idea was that Catwoman would be taken out of Gotham to recuperate to somewhere else, and we'd have a whole new story with her in a new city. Michelle Pfeiffer didn't want to come back, mainly because she found that costume she had to wear far too much trouble.
Yes.
Ashley Judd was then approached.
I remember
She
that.
turned it down.
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman was approached, and the project kicked around for ages. And eventually it landed down to it with Halle Berry. And somewhere along the line it was decided, because it took so long and the Batman momentum being lost, to make it a standalone character. And then other smart asses came in and said, hey, give her the powers of a cat, because it's Catwoman, obviously.
Oh, God. Carry on.
Now, Pitoff,
Piss off, yeah.
yes, he's actually started life as a French visual effects supervisor and second unit director. And he cut his teeth working with Genet
All
on
right.
City of Lost Children and films like that.
Yes.
And I think he was first unit director on that fan favourite,
Oh, no.
Alien Resurrection.
Oh, we should have seen the signs. Oh, God.
Now, apparently, when he accepted this project, he rewrote the script and offered the studios essentially to turn it into kind of like a strange art house pitch for the piece, which they rejected. So he wasn't happy, I don't think, from the start.
No, nice. Well, that's always good.
The film did terribly with test audiences, unsurprisingly.
No
And
shit.
whole sections had to be reshot at the last minute because most of the action scenes allegedly were just leering at Halle Berry's arse.
Well, I suppose there's worse ways to spend a day, isn't it, really? But, I mean...
Yeah. At least then you could have watched it with the volume off, you know.
It originally had a different ending as well, which was cut, where Halle Berry's seen painting a mural, living up her artistic dream, and Detective Tone Loc, or whatever his name is,
Funky cold vagina.
essentially saying Catwoman's off the hook, but then they live happily ever after. However, that played badly with test audiences, allegedly because the audiences didn't like Halle Berry settling down with, quote, that loser.
I thought it was Eric Estrada for at least 20 minutes, and then I thought it was Lou Diamond Phillips.
With that bloke who played Chakotay.
Oh yeah, God. Carry on, Jim.
And the film was a critical failure. It was a box office failure, and is generally considered one of the worst films ever made.
Nice.
Of all the cast, the only person who's done actually well out of it, or rather did well in spite of it, was Alex Borstein, who played
Yes.
Halle Berry's friend, because she's the voice of Lois on Family Guy.
And a few other characters, I think, as
Yeah.
well.
What? Sammy or whatever her name
Sally.
is. Sally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord. One of the most irritating human beings on the planet in that film. Yeah. Hello, my character motivation is that I'm desperate for sex. That's it. Thank you. Yeah. Nice. Anyway, sorry. Carry on, Jim. Sorry.
Well, that about wraps it up for Catwoman. Surprisingly, there hasn't been a sequel.
I think it's got 9% on Rotten Tomatoes or something ridiculous like that, isn't it? It's
Yep,
just-
9%. Yeah.
Oh, nice. I wasn't even looking at the wiki for that one. I just always remember looking at Rotten Tomatoes and seeing it right up there on the charts. But
Film critic Bill Mueller of the Arizona Republic suggested that Berry should possibly give back her 2001 Oscar as a penalty. And if you want to get some sort of cinematic karma back, I would recommend going to YouTube and watching the full 8-minute Halle Berry Razzie acceptance speech.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
I think
that was excellent.
She did much to regain my respect with that. I have to say that was very, very, very well done, because clearly she knew it was a piece of shit as well.
Exactly.
Which is always good. At least. Oh dear. Well, you've seen it 3 times, Jim.
Yes.
So, for your sins, for reasons I don't quite fully understand. So we'll start with you, sir. What did you actually think of this film?
Well, this time in the spirit of shit-covered goggles, I thought let's try and see some good in this film. And to be honest, there is an awful lot which you can have a jolly good laugh at. Once you know how bad it is and you sort of go back to it, there is a lot of stuff that is just hilarious. I mean, Halle Berry just mashing catnip into her face, eating tins of tuna.
Yeah.
The fact that every time she appears, there's sort of some sub-Destiny child singing in the background. The basketball scene. The sub PlayStation 2 special effects.
God, yeah.
They're just mind-boggling stupidity of the plot. Like, your homework's late. Come to this deserted factory to hand it in now.
Yes.
What?
Yes. Oh God! And the armor-plated, was it cream, which will turn you into a monster, but if you use it all the time, it won't. And it's like, what? Okay. Yeah, but
it might kill them. I'm fine with it burning their faces off, though.
Yes, that's right.
What?
Yeah. That's the way. That's the way forward for a massive cosmetics company, isn't it? Yeah,
obviously.
I mean, oh God. Sorry, carry on, Jim. Sorry, I'm just having flashbacks.
Well, the thing is, it is one of those films I found watching this time that previous viewings it just sizzled off my brain like water off a hot iron, and I'd forgotten whole swathes of the stupidity on offer. One thing that is interesting and worth looking out for is that there is in the history of the Catwoman scene where she meets the strange professional cat lady.
Oh, God, that woman. Yeah, go on,
if you do watch closely, when she's got all the books out on the floor, there is, among them, there's a picture of Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman.
Right.
That's the good point of the film.
Oh, well, there you go. That makes everything all that much better, then, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I have to say, I did like the particular bit with the mad cat lady where they sort of go, this is your history, this is your destiny, this is everything, and now it's time to accept your destiny, and here's the magical cat mask, and it's like, do what? I look like you look like some sort of like off-Broadway amateur dramatics play of like fucking Midsummer Night's Dream. I'm wearing a fucking plastic hood.
That's for me. This is where the film sort of this time I was giving it a chance. I was going, well, let's try and view this as a so bad it's good sort of camp classic. But the point where it just goes off the cliff is immediate after, because she gets this really nice cat mask, and then she makes a costume, and seemingly she just threw that away. And instead, we get her prowling around. And every time I've watched this, it's bugged me because she doesn't look like a cat. But what does she look like? And this time I nailed it. She doesn't look like Catwoman. She looks like Wallaby Woman. I mean, what the hell is going on where you've got a film so incompetent it can't do a simple cat mask?
No.
I mean, it's like about a foot off her head with these huge ears. It's just kind of like, who signed off on this?
Yeah. And then she's got these ripped leather trousers, which compulsory camp guy is only there to mention. He's the only character who just turns up and goes, "Those leather trousers," and that's it. That's his entire beginning and end. I just love to see the casting bit for that. So what's your name? My name's Steve. Okay, Steve. What we want you to say is leather trousers. Okay, what's my motivation? Nothing. You've just got to lean over a fence and go, leather trousers. Okay, leather trousers. You're hired.
You're a shoo-in.
Yeah, that's it. You're hired. Brilliant. What's the rest of my parts? No, that was it. We filmed it while we were doing a rehearsal, mate. That's it. Done. You can leave now.
Yeah.
But I want to go away. That's it. It's.
What do I get out of it? Years of crying yourself to sleep.
Yes, and having a Tony Stark beard. Anyway, yes. So carry on, Jim. Sorry, we just jumping in.
I mean, I sort of think the trouble with Catwoman is it doesn't go far enough. I mean, I still think to this day that kind of if you're going to go down the route of having the big villain for the end being Sharon Stone, who is turning to stone.
Oh.
When she falls off, she should have shattered on the floor like a dropped Del Monte, Cafe Del Monte. But, you know, it's too stupid just to go that far.
No.
I mean, I was watching and trying to think, who did they think they were appealing to with this? Is this some sort of superhero movie for the Sex in the City crowd? I have no idea.
Well, they always seem to be having coffee, don't they? You know, sort of pound shop Eric Estrada was kind of always sitting there. Darren, go on. While we're all jumping in, you might as well go for it, man.
Oh man, it's just from the very first bit when you see based on a character by Bob Kane, I sat there and went, "Fuck off." Just take this fuck off with your fucking based on a character by Bob Kane.
Yeah.
It's got no resemblance to any character by Bob fucking Kane. Don't insult the man's memory, for fuck's sake.
Well, he was still alive at that point, wasn't he?
Was he at that time?
Yeah, I think so.
Whatever. Yeah, it's just taking the piss. It really is. The whole thing of, you know, now I'm doing that usual purring, the purring thing. Yeah. When she goes into the fucking nightclub, right? It was the equivalent of 60s Adam West Batman doing the fucking eye dance thing when he goes into that bloody...
The Batusi.
Exactly. But they knew they were doing that for a laugh. This was supposed to be, like, you know, a bit of a serious film, I think. Probably. I think that's what they were under the impression it was anyway. You know, you know what I'm going to do is I saw a clip on YouTube. Right? I didn't click on it. It was a link for Halle Berry doing the actual publicity for this. And I want to go back just to see if you can just look into her eyes and just see that cold dead.
See the point where her soul leaves.
Where it's already gone. That's it, you know.
It's already out spending the check.
Yeah, there's years of therapy coming out of this one, you know. But the whole thing with, like, you know, doing the thing with the catnip and the whole sort of like anything catty that she did in this. I mean, Catwoman, did anybody ever read the fucking comics who wrote this? I mean, she doesn't have any special powers. She's just a woman who can, you know, she's got combat skills and she's a cat burglar. That's it.
The running up the wall.
Yeah, what the fuck? All right, fine. Metal claws, all right, yeah, dig it in, fine. Climbing up, whatever. But the rest of it, it's like this fucking leaping across rooftops. Go fuck off. Just fuck off. Just please, just fuck the fuck off. Fuck off over there. And when you've fucked off over there, fuck off again and just don't come back.
Well, so I could almost forgive it. But the thing is, the way they did her leaping about, it looked like a small terrier in its movements. Yeah. It didn't look remotely even feline.
Actually, it looked like Frogger on the Commodore 64.
There you go.
She hopped about, like, sort of like in this kind of weird staccato kind of flop, 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 flop. And I thought it was like fucking Frogger. I would like to read you, if I may, from the book of Metcalf, because I was writing notes. This is very, very straightforward.
Go on.
You know, feel free to chip in whenever you feel like it.
Yeah, I will.
Might stir something up. So, Catwoman. This is like a haiku, really. It's shit CG town. Oh no, the Merovingian. How much fucking Vaseline is on the lens when we look at Sharon Stone? Do we have to have the horizon to top-down sweep in every single shot?
Yeah.
Fuck that sweeping camera, fuck it right in the arse. Detective Tom is the new Eric Estrada. A chase sequence leading to Patience's death is like Smack My Bitch Up, but with less subtlety. Orange green, shake, 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 fuck. Puss in Boots has bad halitosis. Oh god, she's playing with spiders like a cat because she's like a cat, because it's like a cat thing that cats
Because she's
do.
a woman who's a cat called
And
Catwoman.
she's a woman, exactly. If she starts licking her ass, I'm out. What the fuck is there a message on this cat's collar? Mad cat lady, way to go. You've taken blank acting to primary school first year play levels. She's rubbing catnip balls on her face. Pitoff is a cunt. Every single shot is visual gibberish. Nicking the bike scene makes me want to shit my optic nerves out. CGI fights... Go on.
The shot that got me is where she confronts the evil fellow in the nightclub.
Oh, yeah.
And he's lurking in the back with his hose and his drink and his greasy hair. And she pushes him. And the next shot, it looks like he was sat by like, the back door. And it's like, because the next thing you see, this back door opens and he's falling into an alley.
Yeah, he's just like 1 minute he's sitting down, next minute he's out the door.
I think what happened there was the director was trying to get a real reaction from him, so he didn't let him know that he was actually sat on a catapult. He said, look, what do I do for this scene? You just sit in that chair.
Yeah.
Really? What for? Don't worry about that. Just sit in this chair. Really? Oh, okay. I'll just do that. Yeah.
Boing.
Pull.
Anyway, CGI fight scenes in the robbery looks like shit. Again, stop moving the fucking camera, you dildo. Will you accept the mystical hat of cosplay furries? Plot makes no sense. Why does she go to the docks if she can't remember anything? And why is the killer in the same place? White Russian, hold everything. Is that a Bukkake smoothie? Boring fight is boring. Sassy Sally is fucking annoying. She can only have sex... Can she only have sex if he has a barbed penis? How does Sharon Stone get Patience's number? Because she phones up, doesn't she, and just calls her up.
No, hold on.
defending.
Remember, she gave Catwoman her phone. She said, you haven't got a number? Take my phone. So she called up Patience on her own phone.
And then we had a video call and she stuck the phone in her ear.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Anyway, Sharon Stone makes comment about how she's just turned 40 and they've thrown her away. 40? Skin like living marble where you can't feel a thing. Then why the fuck does she keep going oof when you hit her? And then finally, best falling dummy since Dick Jones in RoboCop.
Wonderful.
There you go. I think that sums it all up. Saves me having to say anything, because I'll tell you what, this film is utter fucking unadulterated, pure, grade A, Bolivian, uncut bollocks.
Can I say my bit now?
Yeah, go on. Sorry, dude.
I've got about 30 seconds there. And that was it.
sorry. Over ego. Go on, keep going.
No.
Keep going.
Play to the audience.
Go on, everyone, watch me dance.
Exactly.
Oh, I love the kick.
No, I think we can safely say load of old bollocks. I mean, what is this thing? I mean, at least she didn't get licked by cats and brought back to life that way, like Michelle Pfeiffer
breathed
did.
in her mouth.
Yeah, well, that's another thing as well, right? If you're going to do the whole thing with the catnip and you could do the spiders, why didn't we see her coughing up a hairball?
Wiping her arse along the carpet, dragging her arse along.
I've got worms.
yeah. Her arse just dragged along when she pulled herself by her feet.
I'm just wiping it. Yeah, no, honest, you had those streaks in your carpet before I started doing this. Yeah.
Oh, carry on.
It's the whole thing as well when she gets in, sleeping up on a fucking bookshelf or whatever the fuck it is she did. You know.
Well, why didn't Tone Loc, if you wanted to know if she was Catwoman or not, just dangle some string?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, here's a ball of string for you. There you go.
Silver paper.
Yeah, silver paper.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this,
Loke.
yeah, it's this whole flipping between personalities and stuff like this, and it was just jarring in the end. It was no, stop this madness right now. Just burn the movie. I'll tell you what, I'm glad I didn't actually really go out and pay anything for this.
Well, I did. I went. I didn't pay. Oh, actually, no. I went on a preview screening.
Yeah,
but no, fucking hell.
I've never been to the cinema to see this. Good.
I have.
Best £10.50 I never spent.
But what about the plot?
What about the plot?
Exactly. I mean, they make a magic cream that is both addictive and will kill people, or turn them into monsters.
Yeah.
In that kind of Resident Evil
And they have
script.
to release this because this is going to save the company.
Yeah. No, it's going to destroy the company. It's going to ruin the company because as soon as someone gets addicted to it, and the fucking hospital. Why didn't the hospital, if they were curing, if they cured Sassy Sally with a strawberry eating fucking, I don't even believe I'm saying this shit. If they can save Sally by just having her sit in a hospital gown and eat strawberries, then it clearly wasn't that addictive, and clearly the hospital would have seen that there was something wrong, and surely the cream would have gone through the FDA to be approved. And surely there would have been other reasons. And that bit when Sharon Stone's rubbing it all over her neck, and then you see that really scared looking housemaid. You can go now, Conchita. It's like, what the fuck?
I'm just smothering myself in Derry Lee.
Exactly.
Cheesy. Because that's basically what this fucking film was.
Laughing cow.
Yeah, exactly. It's the biggest bucket of Dairy Lee you've probably, ever probably had the mispleasure of dying in, basically, face down.
But the thing is, as mental and stupid as the plot is, in fairness, I could go with it and swallow its nonsense if the film knew it was stupid and was doing it deliberately. It's the fact nobody in the production said, hang on a minute, this is bollocks. That's what's perplexing about Catwoman. But, it's just kind of, I don't know, is it some sort of mass hysteria? Is it some mass hypnosis? Is Pitoff an evil hypnotist? Because, it's kind of just the illogic of the whip, for example.
Oh.
Which kind of just change. At some point, it must be about 50 foot long.
Yeah.
In that final battle with Sharon Stone, it's 6 foot, 10 foot, 12 foot, however long it needs to be to draw a line between them in the shots.
And what about that bit when she goes over to Nickelback's house? And then sprays soda water into his speakers. What the fuck was that all about? It's like, oh look, she's a rebel. She sprayed water into his speakers, and like the 100 guys who are in that room don't immediately like kick her ass. No, and then we have to have that sort of that's attempting to be sexy voice. Yes.
Oh, that,
hello. Yeah. It's like fucking Kenny Everett. He was like,
it's all done in the best possible taste.
God almighty, all right. Anyone else got anything else? You got this? I mean, I genuinely have been. I was defeated by this film. I sat there thinking, this is just so bad. There's so much.
It's cringeworthy.
That you just sit there going, this is just shit. And you think, I know, I'm going to have so much material to just sit there and rant and rave and rage at. And in the end, all I just kept thinking was that someone must have attached a HD cam to the end of her whip and just spun it around her head all the time. Or as Herc put it, was it the Harmontown rope tracker?
Harmontown rope tracker?
Yeah, Dan Harmon's girlfriend. You'd have to listen to it, but Dan Harmon's girlfriend invents in the game of D&D a way of finding invisible mushrooms by throwing a rope around her head, and if it bashes against something, then clearly that's the invisible mushroom.
Right.
And she invents it and she calls it a rope tracker, but actually it's just a rope, and she just spins it around her head. That's it. You know what's really interesting is when you look on IMDb, normally there's like the trivia section.
Yeah.
And then you've got the goof section. And normally the goof section is like, you see a microphone dipping in there and, someone's voice goes a little out of sync. And it's like about 5 or 6 entries. And then the trivia section is like 100 fucking entries long. Trivia section on IMDb has fuck all. However, the goof section is, well, as
it's
you can
the
see.
Script.
Yeah, it's pretty much. It's the script.
Oh, it's just one line. It just says, you know that bit between the credits at the beginning and the credits at the end? Yeah, there's your goof.
Yep. Like, what is it? Oh. Jesus Christ. I mean, there's so much stuff. It's like, well, hold on, let's just pick one. During Patience's initial ride on the motorcycle, the helmet disappears and reappears and disappears and reappears based on different shots. When Laurel falls on the company logo, her left leg is bent and her right leg is straight. In a subsequent shot, both legs are bent. When Patience gets out of the jail cell, she jumps through an open window. The window she jumps through opens between shots. The length and styling of Tom's hair changes from one scene to another. When Patience grabs the fish out of the sushi rolls, there's only 3 of them. Next shot, there's 4. And so it goes on. And you know what? That's only the first page. I've got like fucking hundreds of tons of this stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. Even the script can't even keep it straight between the cat. 1 minute she's calling the cat she. Next minute she's calling it he. Has the cat miraculously grown balls?
I think so.
Yes.
It's obviously a sex-changing cat. That's its special powers.
It's as plausible as anything else in the movie. But the mystery of Catwoman is, where did the 100 million go?
That's very, very true. I mean,
where did the money go? Honestly,
I was going to say because it's got like 4 sets, one of which is a brewery. One of which is
it went on the
someone's
bathtub, obviously. Then.
Someone's house, and then the rest is like that horrible CG city, which was bloody awful. I mean, that was really you were saying PlayStation 2 graphics, but it fucking hell. But anyway, has anyone got anything to actually add to this? Because I tell you what, I genuinely felt like a cunt for suggesting this film. After watching it for a second time round, I just thought I've done a very, very bad thing to so many people.
I would have to say my final words on this film are Catwoman is kitty litter.
Or as I put it on Facebook, it's a bag of dicks.
Yes, that as well.
Go suck a bag of dicks. Jim, have you got any final thoughts on Catwoman before we move on to the roll call of honour, the Purple Heart Gang?
Well, I recently joined this new site, Letterboxd.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'm using as a kind of a film diary. And I will now just quote my review of Catwoman. Awful, 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 awful. Really fucking awful. Awful, 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 awful.
Nice.
And chips.
Oh dear. Right, let's get some of the long-suffering feedback.
Let the public purge themselves of their of the filth gained from watching this movie.
Okay, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read. I'm going to save you today, Jim. I'm going to read straight out of the gate. Jack P. Starro, The Damp Night. I'm going to read his feedback because I feel it kind of sets the tone for the rest of them. Because I did get to read this because it popped up on my phone. So the subject is Catwoman, you fucking cunts. Dear Dazza, Lee and Jimbo, you know what? I call fucking shenanigans on the whole thing. The prospect of making us watch Catwoman in the first place was dire enough, but to put it off more than once is like the bloody sword of Damocles hanging over our heads. It's like asking us to take horse laxatives, but not letting us dose up until after we've cleared out an all-you-can-eat buffet. It's like the torture equivalent of twanging up the vinegar strokes before clamping down on the blue balls without release. It's like taking a shit into my mouth, but saying that I have to wait 3 hours before I can swallow. It's like, fuck you cunts. That's what it's like. Oh, God all fucking mighty. I think I've had a moment of clarity. It's an all-consuming rage, the scalding sensation of bile bubbling up from my throat, this strange desire to burn my own trousers off. This is what it feels like to be Lee. Okay, fine, let's get to it. If this is a shit cover goggles, I have to say what I thought of it the first time I saw the film. We're still doing that bit, right? Well, I thought it was shit. A chunky corn festoon fecal spray all over my poor unwilling face. And what do I think now, looking back at this film? Never in a million years I thought I would revisit. It's fucking shit. He actually put those eyes in.
Did he?
Yeah. I don't even have a modicum of fan rage about this. I couldn't care less if it isn't Selena Kyle or that's some kind of weird retarded offshoot of the Tim Burton lore. But if you can besmirch the word with such a use. Nope, it's just a shitty old shit pile of fucking shit. Please tell me how exactly you fuck up the idea of Halle Berry as an acrobat in leather catsuit in a dumb pseudo-superhero flick and then turn it into a cinematic abortion of this level of sheer toxicity. I mean, come the fuck on. Whatever one might debate about the acting talents of the late Miss Berry, because let's be honest, from this point on, she's dead to me. She was a gorgeous bloody woman. How bad does a film need to be that it makes me feel so pervasively repulsed that I'm neurologically incapable of, at the very least, getting some perv value out of that face and that body being constantly on display? Oh, about this fucking bad. How about we give her some horrendous blonde cowlick, slather on some lipstick and make her look like she's been eating ripe gash all week? Squeak on a catsuit that's so horrendously designed that it draws out more attention to her bizarrely perforated leggings, a ridiculous giant cat helmet, than the 7 yards of exposed ponderous bosom. Then drown her out with lightning Vaseline lenses that make her amazing skin look like it's half-eaten toffee, and then, to cap it off, use every possible opportunity to replace her with some kind of the most rank, floaty, obvious CGI body doubling that's almost certainly carcinogenic just to look at. And the story. What the fuck? Where the fuck was the story? All I can still process through is the sheer trauma of my frontal cortex with some absurd fucking tosh wrapped up in a weak as diarrhea cribbing of The Crow, but mostly the outrageously sexist nonsense where our anti-hero's pitiful excuse for a supervillain is a goddamn beauty cream magnet played by Sharon Scheitberger Stone with a marble fucking skin. I mean, seriously, was that their idea of who a superheroine should have had as a nemesis? I mean, fuck that. Even worse than the campus fucking cockrings witch played by Faye Dunaway in Supergirl. How fucking horrendous. And speaking of the other comic book movies, of which I think this barely technically qualifies, I want you fuckers to get down on your fucking knees and admit this piece of shit is worse than Howard the Duck. No matter how fucking bad that was, this shit is worse. This shit is fucking irredeemable. With the exception of Man-Thing, this is easily the worst superhero comic book movie adaptation, in quotes, I have ever seen. Don't you fucking dare program that hellacious soul-sucking pile of garbage, because I will refuse to watch it again. Watching this again was fucking bad enough, and I regret every goddamn cunting, clitting, shitting, pissing, cocking, garsing, brain-raping fucking minute of it. Fuck this film and fuck anyone involved in its unholy summoning. Okay, all the best, gents. Cheers, Jack.
Love and kisses.
Love the show. Cheers, bye.
So that's the second week somebody's mentioned the word clit.
Yeah, clitting. I think that was inspired by Gillian's.
I think it probably was, yes. She started off whole new
Trek
trend.
into Darkness. Ah. Well, thank you very much for that. So,
Yeah, Jack?
Darren,
Yes.
would you like to do one now?
Yeah, go on then.
Have Martin Thompson.
I'll have Martin Thompson.
His one's called Cat Crap Island.
Is it now? Okay, so our young Martin writes, Dear Lee, Darren and Mr. Jim Beam. Sorry, Moon. That's Mr. Moonbeam.
Oh, Moonbeam, very
Nice.
swish.
Yes. First off, a comment on Star Trek Into Darkness, since I was too late to make the podcast. Overall, I enjoyed the movie, although I wouldn't rate it above Star Trek 2009. I'm mainly with Darren on this, in that it got off to a good start, but the last third let it down, and ended it where you guys suggested would have certainly helped. Still, I expect it will all come out in Darren's complete rewrite of the movie Star Trek Into Wonkiness. Okay.
That was a good film.
What was?
Wonkiness.
Yeah. Star Trek Into Wonkiness. It will be great. It will be
great.
fucking epic.
Our script is brilliant.
Yep.
We've lifted all of Star Trek 5. We've
Damn right.
rewritten it and just swapped all the characters around.
Just get them out. Just do it. Let's just
Next
do it.
up, Indiana Jones and the Wonky Skull.
Yes. We're going to have a wonkiness of we could just call our studio
Wonky. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Star Trek 5, the final wonkier.
Call a wonk track.
Yeah.
There we go.
Wonk track.
Wonk track.
Star Wonk.
Anyway, getting back to
carry on.
Ryan's feedback. Okay, Catwoman.
Star
I thought I might be Bunker of Shumwoods this week, as I was beginning to enjoy it when it first started. It had the cheesy 80 movies vibe, but no, this just limped on through not knowing what it wanted to be. Did I want to do the comic character some kind of cat person? Oh, sorry. Did I want to do the comic character or some kind of cat person? I'm not aware that much of Catwoman lore, but I don't think she actually had any special powers. She didn't.
No.
The scenes of Halle Berry scoffing tuna and generally being cat-like were just cringeworthy. Yep. And although I like her at the beginning, whenever she tried to be a bad girl, she really couldn't pull it off, and that costume was ridiculous.
I pulled it off.
Yeah, I bet you did.
And the costume.
Did you pull it off, or did you jerk it off? Anyway,
Carry on.
what is the terror she had to save the world from? Well, since she's a woman, it has to be evil makeup. Nice to see Alec Borstein outside of Family Guy, though. The final fight wasn't that good, and they stole the end from Batman. Okay, so on to next week. Cheers, Martin. Well, thanks
Cheers.
very much for that, Martin.
Thank you very much, Martin.
I shall hand that back to
Okay.
you, sir.
Right. Okay. Next piece of written feedback is from the last one on my iPad before we go back. I have to recover the rest, but is from Herc. See, now I'll just give you a little backstory on this. I went to have a drink with Herc last week, and he basically recounted the entirety of this feedback to me because I had to feel shame for putting him through it. So he recounted it to me in person, staring me in the eyes, unblinking. And now he wants me
Sounds
to
very
read it
dodgy.
again.
He looked me in the eyes, he was doing it, and he didn't blink once.
I didn't look away. So, here we go. This is Herc's feedback for Catwoman. Lee, Darren, Jim. 0 minutes. Yes, I'm going to go into this with an open mind. After all, I really enjoyed Super Mario Brothers. Yes, I did. 5 minutes in. You know how sometimes you see little children emulating the actions of adults without understanding them? The directing style of this director is exactly like that. Already after 5 minutes, 3 minutes of which were the opening credits. 6 minutes. I don't want to waste my time on this, but Lee, I really hope by now that you've done some bitching about how arbitrary, fuck-ass, shoddy the shots are. Right? Shit on toast. This is so bad. 8 minutes in. Lee, by the time you read this, I'll have met you for drinks on Thursday, and you will have heard through all my complaints about this film in person. I'm sending this to make sure that you have to sit through them twice. You bloody bastard. And Barnard, don't think I'm letting you off the hook. You're supposed to be the airbag of the podcast when Lee chooses his car crash films for us. You should never have let things get this far. You are a bloody bastard. And as for you, Jim, I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. 11 minutes in. Fucking camera work. It can't fucking stay still, and the lines of movement contradict each other from shot to shot. For fuck's sake, now come on, shot reverse, basic baby town frolic stuff. And how does the director even fuck that up? 20 minutes in. Not a single remotely redeeming feature so far. This film's hands are full of cack. 45 minutes. Fuck you guys. 67 minutes. I can't think of an analogy scornful enough for this. End. Finally. Turns out the hive mind is absolutely correct. There is nothing to like about this. It's an insult to the words film and movie, and it just makes me want to hug Halle Berry and assure her that I would provide a suitable alibi for her if she were ever to need to make her agent disappear. You can tell she's trying to do the best and she can with a script that's clusterfuckingly awful, and it's a lost cause. I felt perverse, guilt-ridden voyeurism for watching her trying to breathe life into lines that were dead on arrival and clearly foaming at the mouth. There were some lines so bad it made me want to take her in hand, turn her away from it all, and tearfully declare that it's alright, it's already dead. Fuck this film with herpes-smeared fork. Fuck it right in the ear. Yours bitterly, an incredibly sad panda. Thank you, Herc.
Yeah, cheers, Herc.
I don't think he liked it.
No.
Well, who did?
Well, that is very, very true. Right, okay, so over to you, Jim, for one next piece of feedback, and who's it from?
It's from the Reverend Paul Apple.
Ooh.
Now, when I covered Catwoman on Hypnobobs, I seem to remember it made the Reverend Org swear rather badly.
Yes.
Will this follow suit? Let's find out.
It corrupts the clergy.
It's that bad.
And Paul writes, "Greetings, Black Doggers. Paul Apple here with some Catwoman feedback. This movie, along with the previous two shit-covered goggles, marks an important movie trifecta in my life. I am a bit obsessive-compulsive when it comes to watching movies. As a result, I will always sit through the whole thing, no matter how bad it is. I always have the hope that the end will have some redeeming quality or truth to tell, and I am loath to miss it. There have been only 3 mainstream movies that I have willingly stopped watching, and you just picked all 3. Super Mario Brothers. I didn't understand it, and quit when I realised it had nothing to do with the video game. Howard the Duck. Saw it in the theatre with my mom and siblings. I was 9 and was so terrified of the man changing into a monster that I demanded to leave the theatre. Having seen it since, I can't believe Mom let us stay even after the duck tits, attempted rape, condom joke, duck seduction scene, and the massage parlour. Yuck. And finally, Catwoman. What a horrible mess. The first time I sat down to watch it, I quit after about 15 minutes. Why? Because fuck you, that's why.
Yes, we claimed another one.
Your excellent podcast got me back to watch them. Here's my take on the last. I hated the intro. Those stupid pictures of cats throughout history went on forever. It didn't even look like they tried to blend the depiction of the cat into the art techniques used in the painting. It looked like my niece cut out pictures of cats out of a Cat Fancier magazine and then glued them onto a guidebook from the Louvre. I hated Halle Berry's voiceover. It sounded like someone's narration of the family vacation on a home video, but less interesting. I hated the camera work. I hope you guys can describe in more technical detail what techniques were used, but the constant quick cuts and close-ups made me nauseous. It looked like a McDonald's ad and a music video rolled into one, only with less style and taste. Whoever did the hair, makeup and costume design needs to be beat to death with a can of face cream. How did they make Sharon Stone look like a lump of shit? None of the characters' motivations or actions made any sense. It was one idiot. It was one idiotic idea or plot contrivance after another. Not realistic either. For example, the smell of cat urine and the litter box feces in that cat lady's house would have killed Halle Berry the moment she walked in. Lee, can you confirm for me that the CGI is crap?
Yes.
Or at least the way it is used is crap?
No, it's just crap. It's terrible. Terrible 3D Studio Max stand-in human beings. It's awful. Go on, carry on.
Let's talk about being a Catwoman. This shouldn't be hard to get right. Most of the depictions we've had in movies are pretty good. You basically need an actress who looks very good in the uniform. See Julie, Sharon, and Anne, who is also a bit demure. The character is to be selfish and cool, but also slinky and dangerous. The occasional cat pun is acceptable. Instead, we get an actress who read a DIY book on how to be sexy and walk like Howard the Duck. She didn't study cats to get the rest of their behaviour down. It was more likely a Duran Duran video. You remember Hungry Like a Wolf?
I was going to say that one.
The director chooses to beat us over the head with cat behaviour to remind us that she has the spirit of a cat in her. Look, catnip, hissing at dogs, eating tuna. Perfect. Sushi, she's a cat. Look! By this
Licking a
rationale, if only. By this rationale, Sharon Stone should have been able to take her down with a bit of string and a warm basket of laundry.
Or
regarding regarding the plot, all I could think was that if the Joker had been in charge of this deadly makeup caper, all those pricks would be dead by now with a rictus grin on their fat faces. In conclusion, it wasn't dumb fun. It was just dumb, poorly written, crappy effects, terrible direction, annoying actors, ridiculous plot, and no redeeming factors that I can discern. The goggles are firmly still on. Paul. You're a Blackdog man. Accept it. You can be free.
Cheers for that, Paul.
Yes, thank
Brilliant.
you, Paul. Well done, Jim. Good reading as well. It's great.
I think we're racking up some kills here. I mean, of course,
Yeah.
Mr. Moon was the first to go.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
with that tirade that he came out with once. It kind of, you know, just
We broke him.
yeah, it was a game changer. That
That
was.
was a game changer. Once that happened, the gloves came off. Then we got Rev.
Yeah, we got
then
Org, who started swearing as well.
Yeah.
And now another one, another man of the cloth
Yes,
out there.
exactly.
Just got a bit sort of sweary as well.
So now we have one from Pope Benedict.
It's just got cunt written on it. That's it.
Yeah. Yes, I forgive you. God doesn't. Apparently, that's the reply. Right. So, Darren, would you like to read either Murray Christensen or Chris Johnson?
I think I'll go for Murray Christensen.
Okie dokie. There you go. Have the iPhone, iPad.
The iPad. Well, it's a bit here, isn't there?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay,
Go
so Murray writes, Evening, gents.
Evening, sir.
Murray. Or whatever time of day it is when you're listening to this.
Mr. Pieman. I don't know
Pie Man, yes.
I don't know where he lives.
Okay, since I won't be getting to see Iron Man 3 until Friday, I'm sending in what I hope will be early feedback to Catwoman. Yes, in the week you all saw Iron Man 3, I was watching Catwoman. I think we all know who the winners are here. Anyway, on to Catwoman. This is the first time I've seen this, and from what promo stuff I saw when it was released, I thought it didn't respect the source material. Having seen it, I have come to a different conclusion. It does not disrespect the source material because the people behind it were completely unaware of the source material. Picture this.
Yeah.
Someone at Warner Brothers wants to get onto the superhero bandwagon that is rolling along. But they see comic adaptations as territory of sad geeks. What if they could invent a hero which would appeal to a broader audience, like women and guys who read nuts magazines? So he or she dredges So he or she dredges Egyptians holding cats sacred from their mind and comes up with an empowering, sexy super female. Behold, Catwoman. This progresses a fair distance till someone at Warner's Googles and finds Catwoman already exists. Fortunately, they own the property, and as normal, people won't care if it doesn't remotely resemble any appearance. They go ahead. I think that sounds plausible. Anyway, decoupled from my fan outrage, could I enjoy the film? No. I've seen the attraction of Halle Berry. She's not a particularly good actress, and better-looking women do exist. The costume does nothing for me either. Julie Newmar, oh yeah, looked 10 times better, showing off 90% less flesh.
Yeah.
The plot was... Let's just talk about Julie Newmar for a minute there. Yeah.
Yes.
Julie Newmar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who still played Catwoman for laughs, but was still 1,000 times more sexier in the role.
Anne Hathaway.
Oh. So, yeah, can I get a squeak? I can't do it. My lips have gone.
Oh, it's like Vic and Bob are in the room.
There we go. I'll just get the buffer out.
Polish that bum.
Ah, yes, indeed. Who needs a mirror when hers bottom's about? Anyway, the plot was bobbins. Poisonous addictive face cream. 60s Batman would have binned this for being too silly. Sharon Stone was pretty awful too, and the less said about the supporting cast, the better. The effects would be okay for mid-90s low-budget B-movie, but in the 21st century blockbuster, I expected better. Finally, the fight scenes are lifeless and dull. Dull is an appropriate word. I didn't gain any immunity to duff films as a mutant power. I trained my friends and I trained. My friends and I used to rent films that we thought looked bad on purpose. For starters, Global Video and... Was that Milgavie? Milgavie? Oh, right. Okay, pronunciation hint. Milguy.
Okay.
So Global Video in Milguy. Okay. Had more bad films than good. And second, with the right company, made bad films that are comedy gold. Sorry.
Yeah, made bad films comedy gold.
Okay. Try Ice-T and Chris Lambert in Mean Guns. Ice-T. All right, okay.
That's going on the list.
It certainly is, yes. Let's get that in there. I want me some Ice-T.
Well, we got a good one to do ourselves for a totally different thing.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you after.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's one of those. We're going to just, just hit them with it, are we?
No, we got to do our pub thing. I'll talk to you later. Go on.
Okay.
Carry on.
Many bad films are comedy gold. I see, blah, blah, blah. Some are big dumb fun, and some are soul-destroyingly awful. Battlefield Earth. This is none of these. This is just dull. Nothing fun to slag off, but not tear your own eyes out, Event Horizon style bad. Just dull. I got so bored watching this, I cleaned up the living room. If I had watched this late at night after my wife had gone to bed, I would have hoovered as well. So, a long rambling way of saying this was not Howard the Duck awful, just dull and joyless. I won't order those responsible for this film hunted down to answer for their crimes, but I would advise people not to waste valuable hours of your life watching this, as there are millions of better ways of spending your time. So, after Howard the Duck, this is rather tame fare. Still shit though. Still enjoying the podcast. Been listening through old ones as well, so keep it up. Murray Pieman Christiansen. Okay, thank you very much for that, Murray. Sorry for murdering your letter there, but
well,
there you go. It's getting late.
Yeah,
I'm getting old.
And you are getting old.
And the fog's getting thicker.
Yeah, and the yawn's getting larger. Right, I'm going to jump onto Facebook before we go to our last piece of written feedback.
Okay.
Which you can do. Right, but on Facebook we do have a haiku.
Another one
from Mark Last, King of the Haiku.
Go for it.
Mark lost. King, was it King of the Wild Frontier? Well, King of the Haiku, isn't it? I'm trying to remember. Davy Crockett, wasn't it?
Yeah, David.
Marky lost. King of the Wild Haiku. Look, it's fucking 20-1. Let's go with it. Fuck you.
No, you see, it's not. It's not another Gavin J.
No, it's not a Gavin J.
Or-
Gavin J. riding through the glen.
Gareth Lloyd.
Dude,
That's just
dude.
for Pete Kelk. Should we do that again for Pete Kelk?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Gareth Lloyd. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Gareth
Lloyd. Gareth Lloyd. A page of feedback and a smile. Hurry for Gareth Lloyd.
Yeah. You know what's really funny?
What's that?
Gareth hasn't sent any feedback. There you go. We got
Mr.
no
Kelk's now just dived out of a window. The song!
But Glenn Kimberley has requested that if he ever sends feedback in, we have to sing "It's the Eye of the Tiger" because he just thought it was somehow associated with him when he sent in feedback before, and I just mentioned it.
What?
It was because you know when we're doing Sinbad.
Oh, Simba the Eye of the Tiger. Oh,
No, well, we were
fine.
doing Jason the Argonauts, weren't we? But
We're going to have to think up theme tunes for everybody now, aren't we?
yes.
This is it.
Yes. So send in feedback and we'll think up a theme tune for you eventually. Not right now.
Who knows? Like Russian roulette, we may actually pick on one and do a Darren Diamond special of it as well.
Oh, God.
We could do it. We could do a medley like Stars on 45. You remember that?
Like Jive Bunny. Come on,
Stars over
everybody.
45. Got to keep
Stars
these
on
people
45 pints.
I remember that.
Pop up the bitter.
Star turn.
Pop up the bitter, pop up the bitter. Listen to Tony. Anyway, so
Super smashing lovely.
Mark Last writes his latest haiku, which is, "Morning chaps, please find below the following Catwoman haiku feedback. Haven't seen this film. You can't make me watch it now. For fuck's sake, fellas. Cheers." To which Jack P. Starro on Facebook actually said, "And I wish my rage could have been that succinct."
Yep, a small, finely tuned, focused beam.
Yes. And then just to calm himself down, he posted the picture of an otter. But anyway.
I think we'll call him Cat Puncher from now on as well. So he does or not Cat Slapper.
Cat
There we go.
Stabber.
Yeah.
Cat stab. Yeah. Pussy stabber. No, that's completely. Whoa, no, that's wrong. Anyway. Right. Well, moving on to the last bit of written feedback, unless I've missed one. And in which case, if I've missed anyone's feedback, please let me know, and I will apologise profusely and read it out next week because it needs to be read out. Anyway, but the last piece of feedback, as far as I'm aware, is from Chris Johnson, and Chris Johnson writes the following.
Jesus Christ Almighty! You had to give me the long one, didn't you?
Well, of course I do. I'm always giving you the length.
There's so difficult words in here as well. I'm like, oh, blimey.
Okay.
Okay, so Chris Johnson, he sent us in quite an epic tome. And he writes, "Hello, Lee and Darren."
And Jim.
Hello.
And Jim.
And Jim. He did write that, honest. So, what do I think of Catwoman? It's shit. That's all. Chris.
Well, thank you for that, Chris.
Again, focused pinpoint
Accuracy.
accuracy.
Yeah.
There.
That's that's pretty much it. Thank you
that?
for that, Chris. And Chris is doing a podcast with you, Jim, I believe, isn't he?
Yes, and Mr. Pete Kelk.
And Mr. Pete Kelk. Please just do me a favour when you record. Just play Harold Lloyd music down the line to him.
Yeah.
That'd be great. But anyway, okay.
I think that's Pete Kelt's sleeper agent activation music. That's
is.
what it is. You can feel it coming on.
Mancunian candidate kind of thing.
That's it, yeah.
That's it. So anyway, do you want to tell us a bit about that, Jim, before we move on to MP3?
Yes, it's going to be called Witless to the Defence. Witless for the Defence.
Yeah.
In which myself, Mr. Johnson and Mr. Kelk will be sitting on judgment on benighted souls defending terrible films.
So, because I threw my hat in the ring already.
Have you?
Yeah, I won't tell you what on. But so, as I understand it, someone has to actually put themselves out there and offer themselves up to the jury, which is you three, and
Yes.
then defend the film against you three. Nice. There will be many souls and egos destroyed before that podcast is finished.
Wow, it's like a cinematic blockbusters, that, isn't it? You know, I'll have a B, please, Bob.
Judge, Judy, and executioner. Anyway, right. Okay, well, that was the end of the written feedback. Thank you to everyone who watched this film and put up a lovely, eloquent description of the whole thing. Yes, we do have an MP3.
Right,
Sorry.
okay.
Darren's just mouthing MP3 at me. Yes, we have
'Cause
one.
I'm thinking we can't have ended this.
No,
we
no, we
haven't heard the audio stuff.
We do have one MP3.
Good stuff.
So all I was going to say is thank you to everyone who wrote in. And so we have one piece of MP3, and that is from Justin Pearson Smith.
Aha, Mr. White Phoenix himself.
Yes, Mr. White Phoenix. And so he has this to say about Catwoman.
So, Catwoman. This has got to be one of the worst shot films we've ever had on Blackdog. This is the first time I've watched it. If I'd known how bad it was, I don't think I would have sat through it a second time. I don't think I could have sat through camera work that bad. A reworking of a character which is so far removed from the source material, I don't know where to begin with it. The whole thing about female empowerment, okay, I can sort of understand where they were going with it, but is it just me, or did they make Halle Berry look uglier afterwards? Look, I've lost the will to live after watching this film. And I've got my trusty shotgun here. Goodbye, cruel world.
No, the world needs laughter.
Spock, what are you doing here?
I can answer none of your questions at this time.
Can you imagine anything worse than having sat through Catwoman?
I'm sure there is an answer. It simply has not yet been discovered. If I seem insensitive to what you're going through, understand. It's the way I am.
Do you actually have any useful advice here?
Live long and prosper.
Yeah, thanks. That's a real help. Alright, guys. I'll see you later. I'm logging off. Bye.
Thank you, Justin. And thank you, Leonard Nimoy. No, Mr. Spock. Thank you.
Yes.
For saving one of our feedbackers. We don't have that many listeners. Keep them alive. Well, there you go. I think that kind of succinctly sums it all up. So, there you go. Thank you, Justin. Lovely feedback. As you can hear, we did appreciate that muchly. Right, well, that's time to wrap that up. So, thank you to everyone who watched Catwoman. We're so sorry.
No, we're not.
Shush, Jim. Shush. Back in the box, Jim. Naughty Jim. And yes, I guess it's time to tell you what we're doing next week. Well, next week, presuming that I haven't stayed at Escape Studios or been possessed by an iPhone repairing demon from the netherworld, we will be doing a mystery monocle. And that mystery monocle will be a film, an independent film, which neither of us have seen, but I've heard lots of good things about. That doesn't mean to say it's any good, just we've heard good things about it. Called Pontypool. Now, I understand, which is no use to anyone whatsoever, but I hear that it's on the Horror Channel at the moment, doing the rounds.
Oh, it is? Oh, right,
in
cool.
the UK. And it will actually be on air tonight at 2:00, which is no good because by the time this goes up, it'll be already on.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But it is on Love Film Instant, I believe, as well.
It is on Love Film Instant as well. So, yes, if you want to send any feedback in about Pontypool, please send it in to blackdog@geekplanetonline.com, Or, like Mr. Last, leave a haiku up on the Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/the Blackdog Podcast. I wouldn't bother with Twitter at the moment because I really can't be arsed with it. Yes, so thank you, Darren.
No problem.
And thank you, Jim.
No problem.
And would you like to do your little spiel? What your promotions?
Yeah.
Go on in. Go on.
It's getting late.
Plug it.
Yes, you can hear me most weeks on Hypnobobs. The next episode in the works.
Lovely.
Several episodes will be celebrating the life and works of Peter Cushing.
Oh, excellent.
Who, this weekend, I believe it is, will be what would have been the 100th birthday.
Nice. Yes, well, can I just request that if anyone sends any feedback in, that Jim, you use the sound effect "you may fire when ready." That's all I request. That's the only thing I make. The only request I make of you, sir.
I'm sure we can sort that out.
So, well, thank you very much again, Jim, for taking part.
My pleasure.
We'll speak to you soon, no doubt. And thank you to everyone else for listening. And we shall see you all next week when we finally get back through immigration from Malaga. All right. So, we'll see you soon. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
It keeps on calling me down the road. That's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll want to settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on.
Get out of the booth, Jack.
No, I like it in here.